So guys, yesterday I started these concepts like understanding the Java programs, compiler errors, print statements, followed by comments. Now today we are going to go to the next step, which is very important to get started. These form the basic pillars of Java, that is variables, data types, operators, and literals. 4 topics. Okay, what are the 4 topics I'm going to cover today? One is variables. Other one is data types. Then we have operators. And finally, we have literals. Okay. Variables, data types, operators, and literals. These are the 4 items, guys. Variables, data types, operators, and literals are the 4 items I'm going to cover now. So just type in the chat box the names of the 4 items that I'm going to cover now. You can see on the screen if you want, but just you need to type it in the chat box. Variables, data types, operators, and literals. These 4 items you just need to type in the chat box. Yes, variables, literals, variables, data types, operators, and literals. Okay, type in order, guys, better. Yeah, variables, data types, operators, and literals. Right. Everyone keep typing. I want everyone to type this. These are interactive sessions. So this is the only way, the difference between something you're watching videos and interactive sessions. This is the difference. You have to type and you have to interact here. Then only you'll get a benefit of out of these sessions. Okay, fine. So these are the 4 items which I'm going to cover now in today's session. First, we'll start with something known as variables. Okay, or all these things together. Why we need all these 4 items in Java? Why we need variables, data types, operators, and literals? 4 of these things. Why we need them together? In order to store the data in the Java programs. Okay. The answer is, if you want to store the data into the Java programs, we need these 4 items for now. That is variables, data types, operators, and literals. With the help of all these 4 items only, we will be able to store the data into the Java programs. Okay. So what is the purpose of these variables, data types, literal operators, and literals together? When you use all these 4 items, it will be possible for us to store the data into the the program, into the Java programs. Okay, store the data into the. If you want to store data in the Java programs, we need all these things to work together. Then only storing of the data into the Java programs is possible. Fine, that's the main purpose. Fine, I'll give you one example why I'm saying that. Because of all these 4 items, we can store the data into the Java programs. So here you can see a data type, a variable, a literal, and an operator. 4 items are there, you see. You can see this diagram, guys. If you want, you can see this diagram where there are 4 items. First, int a is equal to 5. I'll also type it here. A is equal to 5. If I write like this, here, int is, what is int? Int is a data type. Here in this statement, int is a data type. I'll explain more about int later. But for now, understanding this, in this statement, this part is data type. Then what about this part? This is a variable. Here a is a variable. Then what about this one? This is equal symbol, is an operator. Is one of the operators in Java. Operator. Okay, operator. Then what about this one? It is a literal. It's nothing but a literal. Okay. Pi is a data or literal. So using these 4 items, we can form this kind of storage statement where we can store data into the Java programs. Okay, guys? I'll explain in detail.
If we are storing a string, then it will be literal or not?
Yes, it is a literal. It is a string literal in that case. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll explain all those stuff. Okay. This is just to get started. I'm just giving an overview. Okay. How at a high level, why we need these 4 items I'm giving you an overview. First, we'll start with variables. Okay. So variables. Variable is a name provided to a reserved memory location. Okay. If you understand all these 4 items, right, this statement will become easy for you. So let's start with variables now. Variable is a name provided to a reserved memory location. What is a variable? Everyone type variable in the chat box. Everyone type variable in the chat box. Just type variable in the chat box. Variable is a name provided to a reserved memory location. Okay. Variable is a name provided to a reserved memory location. Okay. This is what is a variable. I'll explain you in detail what is a variable. Let's say this is your computer memory. Assume that this is a computer memory. This computer memory can be divided into multiple slots. Okay, multiple memory slots like this. Okay, some partitions or something, whatever you call. This entire, let's say this is my computer. In this computer, there is some memory. That memory can be divided into multiple slots like this. Like this, multiple slots will be there in the computer memory. Okay, these are the multiple slots. This computer has a memory and its memory has been divided into multiple slots. Now, when you say here, when you say int a is equal to, let's say 5, when you write this statement, what will happen is this literal 5 will be stored in some memory slot. Okay, in one of these memory slots, the literal 5 will be stored. Let's say literal 5 has been stored here. Okay, in one of the memory slot, it has been stored. Now, this memory slot, every memory slot here will have an address. Okay, like every one of you who is attending the session here has an address, right? Similarly, this literal, this slot will have an address. For example, the address of the slot is 01011. Okay, some kind of random address. Can you remember all this address? Guys, this slot has a different address. This slot has a different address. Is it possible for us to remember each and every memory address? So similarly, you guys also have phone numbers, right? Everyone, each one of you who is attending this session has a phone number. Can anyone remember all your phone numbers? No, right? Similarly, this literal is like you and this memory address is like your phone number that other people cannot remember. So what we do in real life, how we call other people, do we remember their entire phone number and call them or do we name them? We will give some name to the phone number, right? We'll name them. Similarly, this memory slot addresses also can be given some names. Okay, this memory slot addresses can also be given some names. That name is nothing but the variable. Here, A is the variable. Okay, A is a variable, which is nothing but the name given to the reserved memory slot where the literal is stored. Now you got the idea? Here I have typed. Variable is a name provided to a reserved memory location. Is that correct? Now is that making sense, this statement? Guys, is it clear for everyone? Why I am saying variable is a name provided to a reserved memory location. Now it making sense now. This is what is a variable, guys. Okay. Everyone will say that what is a variable means. Variable is something to store the data. That is not 100% correct. The purpose is to store the data, but what exactly is a variable? It's a name given to a reserved memory location where the data is stored. That is what is a variable, guys. Okay. Okay. With this example, you should understand variable is nothing but a name given to a reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. Okay. So if you want to retrieve the data that is stored in this particular memory slot, then we have to use a variable, right? Right? Then we have to use a variable. Okay. Fine. So variable is the name provided to a reserved memory location. The diagram I have already showed you. You can see here variable is nothing but a name given to the reserved memory location where the actual data is stored. Then comes the next part. Everyone clear with these variables? If you are clear, type C in the chat box. I'll go with the next topic. Type S or C in the chat box. I'll go to the next one. Okay. Now the next part is data types. Okay. The next one is data types. Okay. We can define the variables with different data types based on the type of the data to be stored. For example, this variable can refer to the memory slot where integer data can be stored, or this variable can refer to the memory slot where decimal value can be stored, or some other type of value like boolean value. Like there are many type of values are there, guys. Okay, based on the type of the data to be stored into this variable. Here in this memory slot to this particular variable is referring what type of data is there? Integer data. That's why the data type here is which data type? Type in the chat box, guys. Here integer data is stored in the memory slot to which this variable is referring. So this variable is declared with which data type? This variable is hence this variable is declared with which data type? Integer data type, int data type. Okay. Similarly, based on the type of the data that you want to store into that particular variable, the data type can be decided, guys. So the below are the different data types in Java, guys. Okay. So I'm going to show you different data types in Java. I'm going to type one by one for you. Byte is one data type, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char, boolean, char. Total 7 should come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, 8. Yeah, 8 should come actually. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 8 should come. Okay. Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char. These are the data types. These are the different data types we have in Java. These are the different data types in Java we have. Based on the type of the data you want to store into the variables, we have to use any of these data types. Okay. Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char. Do we have to learn all these data types? Answer this way. For Selenium automation, do we have to learn all these data types? Everyone is saying yes, but the answer is no. Okay. We don't have to learn all these data types. The important data types I'm going to cover. Int is one data type we have to learn. Then double is another data type we have to cover. Whatever the things I have put in bold, that 4 items are enough. Okay. Int, double, char, boolean. Remaining data types, you are going to do an assignment and learn it. Okay. I'm not going to teach everything for you. Only these 4 data types I'm going to cover for you. Remaining data types you have to learn by yourself as part of the assignment. Okay. because they are not required for Selenium automation that much. But for your knowledge, you have to learn it. Whatever that is required for Selenium automation, that only I'm going to teach you. Remaining all, as part of the assignment, you guys have to do. I'm going to show you which assignment you have to do for that. One minute. I'm going to give this playlist. You don't have to learn everything here, but I'm going to show you what exactly you have to learn. There's a topic known as data types here, okay? From these data types, part 12 onwards, part 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, all these things you have to learn till 25, okay? You guys have to learn till, okay, still there are some things, okay? All the data types related stuff is there. Okay, so starting from part 12, okay? I'll just paste that assignment in the chat box, in the Telegram. Assignment 2 for this week. Where is that Telegram group? Not this one. Assignment 2 for this week. Okay. Part 12 to part, what is the part? Part 12 to, you can go till assigning different literal types. 37, part 37. Okay. Part 12 to part 37. Okay. Go through part in this playlist. Okay. Done. This assignment I'm giving you because I don't want to explain everything for you. Okay. So whatever that is needed for Selenium, I'm going to cover. Remaining all, these are not that much important, but you should have the knowledge. So you have to do the assignment to get this knowledge, guys. Okay. But theoretically that there are 8 data types, that is byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char. Okay. Out of these 4 data types, what are the 4 out of these 8 data types? What are the 4 data types I'm going to cover in these sessions? First one is int. Okay. Second one is double. Third one is boolean. Fourth one is char. Okay. These are the 4 data types I'm going to cover. If you want to store integer values into the variable, out of these 4 data types, which data type I have to use for declaring the variable? For example, into a particular variable, if I want to store an integer value like 26, integer value 26, which data type I have to use for declaring this variable? Tell me, guys. Yes, int data type. Okay, I have to use int data type. For example, if I want to store some decimal value like 34.56 into this variable, then which data type I have to use for declaring this variable? Float I am not covering. In this 4 only you have to select. Don't type float. This 4 only you have to select. Everyone type again. In these 4 items, what is the one I have to use? Int or double or boolean or char? Double. I have to use double for a decimal. For example, there is a variable. If I have to store either true or false into this variable, either true or false, okay, into this variable, then variable need to be declared with Boolean data type, okay, Boolean, lowercase b. Then if I want to store a single character, let's say d is equal to some single quotes. Inside the single quotes, I'll put the character. This is the format. Then which data type I have to declare this variable with? Char data type, okay, char data type. So these are the 4 data types you have to understand to get started. So similarly, byte, short, long also will store integer values, okay. The size differs, okay, that size of the number will differ. Float, double, decimal values, boolean values, true or false, character values, okay. Int, integer values, double, decimal values, okay, boolean, true or false, char, single characters. It can be symbol also, it can be number also, which is surrounded by single quotes. It should be surrounded by single. Such kind of data can be stored into the variables which are declared with char data type, okay. So this is all about the data types, guys, okay. Based on the type of the data that you want to store into the variables need to be declared with that particular data types. And as part of Selenium, we have to learn int, double, char, and boolean data types. Clear, guys? Clear? Is it clear? Okay. So if I say a is equal to 9, which data type I have to declare this variable? Again, I'm asking you guys, okay? Int data, right? Int data type, okay? If I say b is equal to false, which data type? Boolean data type, right? In the chat you are writing. This should be lowercase, guys, okay? Sometimes it is auto typing. B is equal to false. This is Boolean. Then C is equal to then yes, single quotes. Inside single quotes, I'll put a single character. That can be a symbol, number, or character, whatever it is. That should be declared with char data type. Then D is equal to 5.12. Then double data type. Okay, double data type. Okay, these 4 items, if you remember, that's all good to go. Get started. Okay, remaining all you have to do as part of the assignment, guys. Okay, I gave you the assignment of the data types. Okay, that assignment you guys do it. Okay, yeah.
Arun, double alone, double alone, I don't understand. How will you say it is double?
Double means decimal value. For example, this is integer value. This is decimal point means 5.12. So point
We
some.
cannot say float.
Float can also
5.
be said, but I told you, right, for decimals, floating is also there. Okay, floating point is also there, but I'm not covering the float. Okay, you can either use double or float. Okay, for integers, you can use these 4 items. For integers, we can use byte, short, int, long. Out of that, the famous one is int. So I'm sticking with int. Okay, here byte is 1 byte size. Short is 2 byte size. Int is 4 byte size. Long is 8 byte size. Okay, 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So short is equal to 2 bytes. 2 bytes means how much, guys? 16 bit, right? Okay, 2 8 is a 16 bit. Int is 4 bytes. Every byte is 8 bits. 8 for the 32 bits. Long is how much? Double the size of int. That is 8. 8 bytes. 8 is a 64-bit. Okay, 64-bit. Size matters. Okay, here size is different. Okay, so if you want to store a bigger number, you have to go with long data type. If you want to store int is some kind of reasonable data type, that because we don't need any scientific numbers and all, so we don't need long. Okay, int is enough. Okay, but if you want to store some small numbers, okay, then byte short, then int. Reasonable size numbers is int. Long is like scientific numbers, okay, very big numbers if you want to store, then long you have to go with. Similarly, float and double. Double is double the size of float. Okay, double is double the size of float. Here into the float also you can store decimal values. Into the double also you can store decimal values. But double is double the size of float, so it's better we go with double. Okay, people generally use int for storing the integer values, double for storing the decimal values. Okay, even you can use float also for storing the decimal values. Then during the time of literals, I'll cover a bit more. Okay, these data types I'll give you every data type example I'll give you during literals concept. Okay, char single character, boolean true false. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Or any other doubts in this part?
Hi, sir. For numbers, we are using byte, short, int, long, and double
Yes.
float. So for boolean, while using string only, do you need to use boolean?
For Boolean, only two things. That is not string. It is either true or false. Only two possibilities. Either
Oh,
true
okay.
or false. Okay. You have to either
Okay.
store true or false. Boolean can be only true or false. Okay.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
It's not a string. It's not a string. It's true or false. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. For all the numbers, we'll use this. But in the numbers also, there are two types. One is integer numbers. This ones. Decimal numbers. These two things. Okay. We cannot store decimal things into this. Okay. We cannot store decimal values into this. Java will give you some errors. I'll show you. I'll open the Eclipse ID. I'll show you practically how to use these data types now. Practically in the Eclipse ID. So we can Google it out. If you want more information, we can simply Google it out. Like ChatGPT or something will open, or Google search also is fine. Okay. Size and range of different data types in Java. If you type and ask ChatGPT, it will give you all the answers. You see, byte is how much? 1 byte. Byte is 1 byte. Byte is 1 byte, that is 8 bits. What is the possible number that I can store into byte? What is the possible number I can store? What is the range of values I can store? Minus 128 to 127. This is the range. Okay. Then short, 16 bits of size. I can store the number from this much to this much. Negative value to positive value. This much range I can store. Into in data type, that is 32 bits. I can store from a very big number. Okay. So this number is given in 2 power 31 and all those stuff, but 32-bit means 31, 32 minus 1, minus 2 power 32 minus 1, like that you have to do. 2 power, for example, here 2 power 8, 2 power 8, instead of 2 power 8, we have to give 2 power 7. That is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into like that 7 times we have to multiply, then you will get 128. Okay. Last one is minus 1 you have to do. That's why we got 127. Why 127? Here 128 can be there now. Why 127 is there? Anyone can say why 127 is there here? Because of which reason? 120 minus 128 to plus 128 should be there now. 2 power 8 means 2 power 8 minus 1 means 2 power 7 will come. That is 128 again. But why 127 is there here? Because of 0. Minus 1 to minus 128. 0 to 127. Understanding, guys? I'll give you one example, okay? Why the byte size is, you know, I'll give you one example, remaining all you have to understand, okay? So there is something like byte. Byte is a data type, right? It can store integer value similar to int data type, but the size of the byte is 1 byte. The size of the byte is 1 byte, which is equal to 8 bits. Then if I have to calculate what is the range of the integer data that I can store to this variable, which is declared with byte data type, I have to use this formula minus 2 power 8 minus 1. Here 8 bits means 8 minus 1 to 2 power positive value 2 power 8 minus 1. Again, I have to say minus 1 here. Why? Because I have to start from 0. That's why here minus 1 I have to give. Okay. Let's convert this part. Minus 2 power 8 minus 1 means 8 minus 1 is 7. 2 power 7. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Okay. 2 to the 4. 4 to the 8. 8 to the 16. 16 to the 32. 32 to the 64. 64 to the 128. So minus 128 is the answer. This part. 2. Here also 2 power 7. That is also 128. 128 minus 1 is there. That's why 127. Why we are doing minus? Because we have to include 0. 0 to 127 is 128. Only the size is 8 bits. So only this much should be possible. Okay. Minus 128 to 127. Is that clear, guys? How the size is decided? Is this clear? Is this clear how the size is decided? Okay. Similarly, every data type has a size. Short has a size. Int has a size. Long has a size. Okay. Suppose I'll remove all this stuff. I'll do all these demonstrations now here. If I write byte a is equal to 111, can I store 111 into the byte declared variable? Can I store 111? Yes. One more one if I add. Is it possible? No. Why? Size. It doesn't allow. Okay. More than this size. More than minus 1, less than 128 or more than 127, it will not allow. Okay. It will not allow less than 128 and more than 127. So it will give you simply the compiler error will come. Okay. Then I have to go with short. Let's say I'll give short. Then error is gone because short can accommodate this size. I'll try to increase the number. Still it can accommodate. Increase the number. Now it's not accommodating. Then I have to go with int. Int is fine now. Accommodating, 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 not accommodating. The size is more. The int data type cannot store this much of size. Then I have to give what? What I have to mention here, guys? Double is for decimals. Byte, short, int, long. I have to go with long. But still the error is not going. For long literals, we have to put L here. Okay. The literal type is, for long literals, we have to add what? L at the end. Then only it will accept. Otherwise, it will be considered as still as an integer literal. This is an integer literal, it is saying. Int is out of range. You have to make it long. By adding L at the end, we'll make it long literal. Then only we can store this kind of big number into the variable which is declared with long data type. Okay. We have to add L, lowercase L or capital L, anything is fine. Fine. Then we have floating point. In floating point, for storing decimal values, up to 7 decimal digits, dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, till there. 1, 2 point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we can go with float. Or if you want to store more bigger number, up to 15 decimal digits after the dot. 1, 2, dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that up to 15 if you after dot, then you can go with double. So it's better to go with double. Why to have some restrictions like this, right? So if I try to store, for example, if I try to store int a is equal to 5 is fine. But if I store 5.6, can I store 5.6? I have to make it what? Double. I have to make it double. Up to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Already 8 is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This I can store up to 15. After dot, up to 15 decimal points, decimal digits, I can store into the double data type. Okay. So if you go with float, this much is not possible. Okay, this much is not possible. 1, 2, 3. Even though I put F here. Okay. 1 minute. So here in floating point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here this is not being taken. Why? Why this part is not being stored into this variable which is declared with float data type? You have to add F here. The letter F you have to add. Then only it will become floating point letter. Otherwise, it will not become floating point letter. Okay. When you add F, it will become floating point letter. Okay. Then we have char data type. 16 bits. 0 to 65, 35, different type of characters will be there. In order to represent different type of characters, for each and every number, there is a character associated. So they gave 16 bits of size for that. You don't have to worry about the size here. Character, you know, right? Single quote, some number or some like a number or alphabet or some symbol you will store. Then we have Boolean data type, either true or false. Only two things. Only two things are allowed here, either true or false. Okay. Fine. So hope the data types part is clear. Guys, hope the data types part is clear for you. You don't have to dig deep into this. Just understand int for storing the integer values, double for storing the decimal values. You even don't have to worry about putting L at the end, F at the end, and all those stuff. Okay. Simply put the number here, integer number. Simply put the decimal value, 3.12 or whatever it is, double. Char, just put single quotes and some symbol or some alphabet or some number inside the single quote. It will take Boolean either true or false. This 4, if you learn, it's more than enough. You don't have to focus on other stuff. But if you still want to learn them in depth, I have gave you the assignment. You can do that. Okay. Shall I go to the next topic? Guys, if it is clear, just type C in the chat box. Just type C in the chat box if it is clear, and I can go to the next topic now. Okay, great. Now, string is not a data type in Java. Okay, the next important thing. So whatever the data types I covered just now, whatever the list of data types I covered just now, what are the different data types I covered just now? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. These 8 data types are called as primitive data types. Type in the chat box. What are they called as? Primitive data types. Type in the chat box, guys. What are they called as? Primitive data types. I'll explain more about primitive data types later. Okay. Why I'm calling it as primitive, I'll tell you later. Okay. And now coming to the string, is string a data type? Is string a data type? Is string a data type? The answer is no. String is not a primitive data type or data type. So if you want to store integer value a is equal to 9, you will declare this with int data type, right? If you want to store some decimal value 3.6, Okay. Then you will store double here. You will declare it as double. Then if you want to store some character value, then you will declare that with char data type. If you want to store some Boolean value, either true or false, any of only one can be stored, Boolean data type. Let's say if you want to store some string, let's say Arun Motori, like this I want to store. In double quotes, I have to provide string literal every time should be provided in double quotes, okay, into this variable. Which data type is there for this kind of purpose? Can I use int double char boolean for this purpose? Can I use int here? No. Double can I use? No. Char can I use? No. Boolean can I use? No. Then what is answer? What I have to use here? I have to use string. But is string a data type? But is string a data type?
Arun, why we are not using char? Why char is not accepting?
Char only single letter.
Oh, single letter. Okay.
Single letter surrounded by single quote. Only that much it can accept. If I put char here, it's not accepting. This is not a single letter, right? Multiple letters surrounded by double quotes. Such kind of string text, char is not accepting. So only way is to go with string. And here if you can observe, I is in lowercase, D is in lowercase, C is in lowercase, B is in lowercase, but S is not in lowercase. String is not a primitive data type because of that. A string is not a primitive data type, but it looks like a data type or not. But it looks like a data type or not based on the functionality. Yes or no? It looks like a data type, but it's not a data type. Okay. Though we use string, we should not call the string as a data type. Okay. Just remember that for now. String instead is what then? If it is not a data type, what is it? It is a predefined class in Java. Okay. String is you see, whatever the class I created here, right? First Java program. This is a class or not? Class name. Yesterday I explained about understanding Java programs. This is a class name or not? Is this a predefined class? Is this a class created by the Java developers? Or I created it? I created it. Yesterday I gave the name. This is my class. This is a user-defined class. What is this one? Type in the chat box. What is this class? It is a user-defined class. It's not a predefined class. Type what first Java program is. It's a user-defined class because users like me can create this kind of classes. These are user-defined classes. But there are some classes in Java which are developed by Java developers. Okay. But there are some classes in Java, in the library of Java, which are already developed by the Java developers. Those classes are called as what? The classes for which the code is already developed by the developers of Java are called as predefined classes. So string is what it is. String is a predefined class. Okay. String is one such kind of predefined class for which the developers have already written the Java code. String is a predefined class in Java. Okay. Using this class, using the string predefined class, we can store the string literal into the variable. Okay. This is not a data type. String is not a data type. Instead, it is a predefined class in Java. You have to remember that. Clear so far? Variables, data types, clear? Now, I'll go with literals. The next part is I'll go with literals. Okay. This part is literals and fourth part is operators. Okay. After literals, I'll go with operators. Literals. Literals in Java are the representation of numeric, Boolean, string, and character data or any other type of data. For example, integer literals. Examples for the integer literals are any of this range. Okay, some numbers in this particular range are integer literals. Long literals are, they should have L letter at the end. Okay, floating point literals, they are decimal values having F letter at the end. Double literals, they are simple, some decimal values Here D is optional, guys. Okay. Boolean literals, true or false. Any of true is a Boolean literal, false is another Boolean literal. Character literal, single quotes, whatever the single character. String literals, in double quotes, some text, that is string literal. Now let's understand it here. Different literals I'm going to cover. Now I'll give you one example. You have to tell me which literal type that is. If I give 125, which literal type it is? Which literal type? Integer literal type. Okay. Integer literal? Yes, integer literal. Okay. Then if I give 9L, then if I put L letter here at the end of this number, it will become a long literal. Okay, literal type is long. Literal type is long. Then if I put like this, then single quote 9. Yes, it is char literal. Character literal or char literal, whatever you call. Okay. Then if I do 3.12 F, 3.12 F, floating point or double? Floating point literal. Because F is there. What if I put 3.12, normal 3.12? Which literal it is? Which literal it is? Double. What if I put 3.12D? It's also double literal. Here D is optional, guys. For double literals, whether you put D or doesn't put D, doesn't matter. Double literal only. Then if I say false, which literal type it is? False. Boolean literal. If I say true, which literal? Yes, Boolean literal. Okay. If I give, this is which literal type? String literal. Okay. Literal type is string. Like that, different type of literals are there. This different type of literals need to be stored into the variables which can be declared with different data types. Okay. Now, into int a is equal to 9. If I say like this, here 9 is a data or literal is of which literal type? This 9 is of which literal type? Integer literal type. Can I store integer literal type to the variable which is declared with int data type? Is that possible? Yes. For example, if I give 9.5, this is which literal type? Double. Can I store double literal type into the variable which is declared with int data type? No. Okay. I cannot do that. Okay. So literal types are there, data types are there. For example, if I give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, error is coming. This is which literal type? Integer only. Integer literal type only. This one is. This is not long. Wrong answer, guys. It's not long. Understand this properly. This is not long. This is integer only, but out of range. Long literal will have L at the end. Can you see any L at the end? In this case, do you see any L at the end? Then it's not long, right? It is an integer literal only. Can I store this integer which is out of range into the variable which is of int data type? Is it possible to store some out of range value into the variable of data type? It's not possible. So I'll change it to L. Now it has become long literal. Can I store long literal into the variable which is declared with int data type? Not possible. Size doesn't allow. But if I put long, the error is gone. Okay. Clear, guys? Clear? Literal types and data types is clear for you? Everyone clear with the literals and data types? Integer literals, numerical values in this range. You don't have to remember this. Long literals, something which have L at the end. Floating point literals, something which have F at the end. Decimal values with F at the end. Double literals, decimal values where D is optional. You can put capital letter F or lowercase letter F. You can put the lowercase L or capital case L. Here you can put capital D or lowercase d or optional. Whether you don't put also doesn't matter. Double literal. Boolean, either true or false. Character, single quote S or whatever the character. String literal, double quotes, whatever the text you provide will become the string literal. So everyone clear with the different type of literals we have in Java? Great. These are the different type of literals we have in Java. Okay. So far I covered variables, data types, and literals. So what is the last topic left out? Operators. The next part is operators. So any doubts? Before I go with operators, any doubts you guys have? Anyone have any doubts in data types, variables, and literals part?
Yes, sir. In our previous discussion, 9 is surrounded by single quotes. That's why it is char.
Yes. If you
Okay.
surround something with single quotes, it will become a character. It can be a number, it can be a letter, alphabet, capital letter, or it can be symbol.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Everything will become a character letter. This is a character letter. Okay.
Okay.
It is no more a number. It's a character. Simple words. Okay. You are representing a character in that case. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Next one is operators, guys. Okay. The next part is operators. Operators is the next topic. In order to store some data into the variables, we use these four things, right? Int a is equal to, for example, 5. Here, 5 is known as a data or literal, whereas a is known as a variable. Now, int is known as a data type, whereas equal symbol is nothing but an operator. It's one of the operator. There are several operators in Java, and equal symbol is one of the operator in Java. Similar to equal symbol, there are many other operators. Very simple topic, guys. Operators is very simple. If you are already have some mathematics knowledge, very basic mathematics I'm saying, I'm not saying very advanced mathematics, very basic simple mathematics. If you know, this operators topic is very simple for you to understand. Okay. But before we dive deep into these operators are just what? Operators in Java are what? They are symbols. Okay. Operators in Java are just symbols. Operators in Java are just symbols, guys. Okay. What are operators? They are just symbols. Okay. In simple terms, operators are symbols, but with a purpose. What is the purpose? Why we need these operators which are just symbols? To perform some operations on the provided data. Okay. Operators are just symbols which can be used. Operators are just symbols which can be used to perform operations on the provided data or given data. Able to understand, guys, what are operators? Operators are nothing but just symbols. In Java, operators are nothing but just symbols which can be used to perform what? Operations on the given data. What is the purpose of operators? Type in the chat box. What is the purpose of operators? Operators are symbols, But to perform operation on what? To perform operation on data. To perform operation on data. To perform operation on data, we need this operator symbols. In Java, operators are symbols which can be used to perform operations on the given data or provided data. Okay, that thing you have to remember. Okay, if you understand this line, then we can get started. So below are the different type of operators we have in Java. Okay, the below are the different type of operators we have in Java. So you can see this diagram, guys. Just focus on this diagram. Okay, just focus on this diagram. The below are the different type of operators in Java. Okay, so you can see this diagram, guys. There are different type of operators I categorized. In Java, the operators can be categorized into the different types. What are the different type of operators we have in Java? First one is arithmetic operators. Next one is relational operators. Third one is logical type of operators. Fourth one is assignment operators. Fifth one is other type of operators, remaining operator, whatever you say. Okay. What are the different type of operators we have in Java? First one is arithmetic operators. Second one is second one. What do you think is the second one? Type in the chat box. First one is arithmetic. Second one is relational. Third one is, yes, logical. Fourth one is assignment. Fifth one is other operators. I am just calling for now. Okay, conditional or other. Okay, whatever it is. Other operators. Okay, remaining all operators fall into other operators. Okay, the many other operators are also there, guys. Okay, I am not covering everything for you. Okay, I'm not covering all the different varieties because that much is not required. This much is enough. This much of knowledge of operators in Java is enough, guys. Okay, there are bitwise operator. Okay, like that many type of operators are there in Java. If I type in the chat GPT or something, it will give you. Give the list of different types of operators in Java. If I type this, just see what will be the result. Okay. This arithmetic operators, relational operators, logic. You see one more thing, bitwise is there. Again, assignment is there. Many types are there, right? So a lot of types of operators are there. You don't have to learn this bitwise and all. Okay, that is too much depth, which is not required for us. Okay, arithmetic, relational, logical, assignment. Again, bitwise assignment is also there. Okay, so you see this bitwise, I'm not covering bitwise. Okay, that much is not required at all. Okay, so if you really want, you can explore by yourself, guys. Okay, but I even for knowledge purpose also, this is too much. Bitwise is too much. Okay, so then they have separated increment decrement, but I added increment decrement in this arithmetic only. In arithmetic only, I'm covering increment decrement. Okay, you can also separate it if you want. Okay, it's up to you. Then we have other operators. So we have conditional operator, I told you. Okay, this instance is something different. Okay, that will come later in our topics. Okay, for now, these are the different variety of operators. So I have curated this list of operators that are more than enough for us. Okay, these are more than enough, guys. Okay, these operators that I have drawn in this particular diagram are more than enough for your learning. If you still want to explore more, you can do it by yourself. Okay, fine. So arithmetic operators. First one is arithmetic operators. What are the different arithmetic operators we have? Addition operator, subtraction operator, multiplication operator, division operator, modulus operator, increment operator, decrement operator. So this can be separated if you want. A separate category if you want to put increment, decrement, you can put this increment, decrement there. But ultimately in arithmetic, I am covering all this stuff. Additional, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, increment, decrement. These are the, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total 7 arithmetic operators are there. arithmetic operators. What are the different arithmetic operators we have? First one is addition operator. So I told you every operator in Java has a symbol. Addition operator. Which symbol is there for addition operator? Which symbol is there for addition operator? Plus symbol, right? Plus symbol. Then subtraction. Subtraction operator. Which symbol? Which symbols are for subtraction? Minus symbol, hyphen symbol, or whatever it is you call. Multiplication. Which symbol? Asterisk symbol. Okay? Asterisk symbol. Star kind of symbol. Division. This forward slash symbol. Then modulus. Modulus operator. Percentile symbol. Okay? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. Increment. Increment operator. Plus symbol. Decrement operator. Minus symbol. Okay? 2 minus. I'll demonstrate each and every operator for you in this arithmetic operators now. Okay? So arithmetic operators, let me explain. System.out.println I'll use. This is a print statement. Everyone knows this is a print statement, right? So here inside this, I'm going to do something. If I say 4 or 5 plus 4, 5 plus 4, here plus will act like a addition operator. So 5 plus 4 is how much? 5 plus 4 will result in what? Addition. 5 will be added with 4, so it will become 9. 9 will be the output. Then system.out.println 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4. 1. Right? Mathematics, simple mathematics, subtraction. System.out.println 5 multiplied by 4. 5 4s are 20. System.out.println 5 divided by 3 I'll give this. Okay, intentionally I'm giving 5 divided by 3. How many times we can divide number 5 with 3? Only one time. So 1 is the output. Only 3 can divide 5 only one time, not more than one time. So 1. System.out.println 5 modulus 3. So when I divide this 3, when I divide this 5 with 3, what will be the remainder? 2. 3 ones are 3, 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 is the remainder. So modulus is all about remainder. Plus is all about addition. Minus is all about subtraction. Asterisk is all about multiplication. This forward slash is all about division, and how many times we can divide, that is answer. Here after dividing, what is the remainder? That is answer. If you know the basic mathematics, you will understand all this stuff. Is it clear, guys? Is this clear so far? Anyone have any doubts? Any basic doubts also? Okay, you can ask me before going further. If you have any other basic doubts also, you guys can ask me a doubt, guys. Okay. So this part is clear now. This portion of arithmetic operators is clear for everyone. Now let's move on to the. I'll give this program to you. Can I put this? I'll ping in the chat box, guys. You can take it from there. Okay. Or you don't have to worry, in the notes also it is there, guys. Okay. I've provided the notes. Okay. In these notes, you see demonstrate all operator section is there. If you go here, you'll get all the code. Okay. You'll get the complete demonstration of all the operators in the single Java in this file. You see, a plus b, a minus b, all these things are there. Okay, print that. You can also do like this also. You can, instead of saying 5 plus 4 here. You can create variables like this and you can store. Okay, that's also fine. Here relational operators, here logical operators, here assignment operators. All the examples are given, but still I have pinged you in the chat box. You can take it from there also. Okay, fine. Next category of next items in this arithmetic operator is increment and decrement operators. Increment and decrement operators. Okay, I'll just comment it out. Whatever that is completed, I'll comment it out so that I can share it at the end. Okay, this is comment. So it will not run, right? It will not run the code. So next one is increment operator. If I say int a is equal to 5, now if I say system.out.println a plus plus, what will be the output? Okay, someone is saying 6, someone is saying 10. Any other? Keep typing your answers. 7, 6. Everyone try. Guess it. What will be the output? Guess, guys. All your answers are wrong. Yamini, I'll take till 8:15. Okay, the 4 more minutes. After that, I'll stop it. Okay. Yes, I'm extending by 15 minutes today. That's fine. Okay. I'll take till 8:15. Is that fine?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Payal is saying 5. That's correct. Actually, 5 is correct. You run this. You'll get the answer as 5. Okay. You'll get the answer as what? 5. Why? You see, this is an increment operator. The value of the a should be incremented by 1, but it's not getting incremented. Why? Anyone can guess that? Why it's not getting incremented? Because this is a post increment operator. Okay. So what happens when you print this variable a is, first the value of a will be printed. Value 5 will be printed. Then only after the value gets printed, the value of a will be incremented by 1 because of this plus plus. That means a will become 6. But after getting printed, it is becoming 6. So in the next statement, if I write system.out.println a, this time here it will print 5, but here it will print 6. Okay. Can you see that? Okay. So what's happening here is we are incrementing the value of a by 1. That's correct. But in this print statement, first the value of a is getting printed. Then after it is getting incremented. Okay. The value that is stored in the variable a is getting incremented, but not there itself. After printing, it's getting incremented. In the next line, when you print a, by that time it has become 6. Okay. Now, what if I give something like int b is equal to, again 5 I'll write. Okay. System.out.println. If I write plus plus a, this time, what will be the output? This time perfectly 6. Why? Because, sorry, here b actually, not a. Okay, plus plus b. So the value of b is 5, but before printing it is getting incremented. It is a pre-increment operator. In this case, it was post-incrementing. After printing, it is incrementing. But in this case, it's first incrementing, then it's printing. The value of 5 is becoming 6 and then printing. Okay, first we are adding, incrementing by 1, then printing. So 6. The next statement also, if you say system.out.println, you will get 6 only. You'll get 6 only, guys. Okay. Already incremented in the previous step only. So 6 will come. Okay. output will be 6, 6. Last two outputs you just observe in the output console, it will be 6, 6, right? 6, 6. 5, 6, 6, 6. Okay. Now, fine, let's move on. Int C is equal to, now you have to answer me. Again, 5 I am saying, int C is equal to 5. System.out.println, C minus minus. What will be printed here? You have to guess it. Yes, 5 is the right answer. As you mentioned, 5 is the right answer. The value of C is 5 is printing, then decrementing by 1. But when it is decrementing, after printing, it is decrementing. The next statement, if I give system.out.println, see what will be the output here? Yes, 4. You are right now. Okay, that's correct. You are able to understand. Now, if I take another example, int d is equal to, again 5, I'll say, system.out.println minus minus c. In this case, what will be the output? Decrement operator, c, pre-decrement operator. First only it will become print 4. Why? Because first it will decrement the value of, sorry, d, right? D. Okay. It will decrement the value of d by 1. So 5 minus 1, 4. 4 will be printed. After that, system.out.println. If I print d, again it will be 4 only. Already decremented, right? Okay. So everyone clear with increment, decrement operators? Everyone clear with increment and decrement operators? Clear now? Yes, great. So that's all for today, guys. Okay, that's all I wanted to cover for today. Variables, data types, literals, and operators. In operators, I covered arithmetic operators today. Tomorrow, I'll be covering the remaining operators like relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators, and other operators. Okay, for today, this much. Anyhow, the notes I have already shared yesterday. Yesterday notes I have already shared. The same notes you have to refer today also. Refer yesterday's notes, okay, for today's topic. And so this code, okay, I'll do one thing. Okay. I'll just name this as operators demo. Going ahead, we'll do something like this. Right click. Don't worry what I'm doing here. I just want to share the code to you. That's the reason I'm doing this. Okay. Because going ahead, I have to write a lot of code. So every time I have to share the code means that will become difficult. So, no. So I'll do one thing. I'll just do this something that you don't have to do it. I will do from my end. You don't have just, I'll take the help of this GitHub and all. I will do that.
Arun, do you teach Git for us, GitHub commands?
Yeah, at the end, I'll teach. Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry what I am trying to do. Just, only intention here is to share the code with you guys, okay, on a daily basis. That is the reason I'm doing all this stuff. Otherwise, it's not required for you, okay? Later, I'll teach you how to do all this stuff. This is not the right time. Done. Okay. Like this, I'll share you the code going ahead. Okay. Just click on this link, so you'll get the code. Click on this link, you will get the code that I have demonstrated on that particular day going ahead. Okay. We'll keep doing this coming days. Fine. So fine, the code also I gave you. Going ahead, I'll also make sure that, I'll just put every code and same project and, keep covering all those things for you. Fine. Any doubts, any questions from today's session? Guys, any doubts or any questions from today's session? Okay. Okay, great. If you don't have any doubts, you can leave for today, guys. No problem. So any one of you have any doubts, the remaining people? Okay, then that's all for today. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.